Welcome back, everybody. The History Guy here. First of all, I want to say thank you to all of you who had some great input in your comments on the last video. This is episode 4, playing as a custom nation of Ohio. And Europa Universalis 4, this is the extended timeline mod. I'm also using the Fast Universalis mod, which helps sim the game a little quicker. So here we are. It is January of 132. And we're just kind of looking at where we're going to expand next while continuing to build the infrastructure of my existing kingdom. And we'll see what else we can do in the meantime. I've still got too many diplomatic relations because I have two allies, and apparently I can only have one at the moment. So I'm going to have to break off from one of these. I just got to decide which one I want to do that with. Probably these guys will be the ones I'll break. So I'm going to go ahead and dissolve that alliance. Because that was costing me diplomatic points otherwise I could use. So there's that. I don't think there's a whole lot else I need to do right now. My stability's good, no corruption. Prestige continues to just kind of tick away, and I don't have any great ways of making it, but that's the way it goes right now. My Republican tradition is at 75, so we're going to let that tick up again a little bit before we spend any of that on ruler elections. The only other thing I can really do right now is if I had somewhere else I could send a merchant, which I don't believe I do at the moment. At some point down the road, I may get to a place where I have a third merchant node that I can go to. But that's where we're at right now, so we're going to go ahead and start simming, and as things happen, I'll jump in and out accordingly. So just as I spoke about corruption, this happened. Bribes growing more accepted. What's the difference between an honest man and a fool? The fool doesn't know he's being swindled. So goes an increasingly common saying in Ohio, the spirit of which is proven through more sinister change in the social fabric. Bribes are beginning to be seen as a natural consequence of the market, where any action carries a price. So with all that, I gain a half a point of corruption, and it looks like my general has died. Not a big deal. If I go to war, I'll just create a new one. So somebody mentioned that by improving my, if I go into, where's it at? Where I can improve the military power, that will eventually allow me to have or is it maybe the tax base? One of these, as I build it up, will allow me to support more troops. So I'll have to go back and look and see which one that was. But I'll start doing that to allow myself to have a larger army as the need presents itself. I believe this is an ally of mine here, so we've got to look at where we're going to expand next. And right now I don't really have any options because I don't want to go after Iroquois. So maybe the Potawatomi, my former allies, might be the way to go here. Let's see who their allies are. They're allied with the Ottawa, which I think are up here. Yep. They're a duchy. Yeah, okay. So that might be something to think about. We're going to go ahead and start building a spy network there, and then I'll think about whether or not to fabricate a claim and go after them. Man, I'm always losing prestige when I'm trying to gain it. Here I've got one of the core parts of a republic are the great ceremonies of state. This is a time where disagreements and disputes between the patricians are put on hold so we can display our unity of purpose and show the world our strength. At a recent ceremony, disgruntled elements turned their backs on our tradition to air their disagreements with the ruling council. Lose 10 prestige. All right, so the comment I was referring to from the last episode had to do with every few levels of improving your development level increases your land force limit modifier. So we'll have to take a look and see what the limit is. And of course that'll probably improve the maximum manpower as well. Right now military power is the only thing I have enough of that I can really spend on anything. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. This is Chillicothe. These are lowest by far right now, so I think I'll go there with that. All right, eventually, I'm assuming there's a trade node here in, no, maybe not. You would think Manhattan would have a trade node. Of course, down here was Jamestown. So we're into February of 134. And the other thing somebody mentioned that I'll definitely keep in mind is the next time I go to war, to when I conclude that war, to demand money. Since a lot of these countries have a lot of money, and I don't right now, because I spent it all to pay for my war. All right. Okay, so let's see here. A renowned minstrel recently crossed our nation's borders. His intention is to roam our country, bringing joy to all who hear him. But some say only your ears are fit to hear such wonderful music. Gain a skill 2 artist. I don't know if I really want that. But that does bring with it increased diplomatic power. So we'll bring him to court. We'll get the prestige for that. And I guess I still would have to pay for said advisor. And all these advisors are expensive, as you can see. One monthly, that would basically wipe out the money that I have. So I'm not at a place yet where that's really an option for me. However, I do have enough diplomatic power now that I can go ahead and spend some here. So that's going to improve my monthly production a little bit. So let's see what the financial situation looks like now. Balance of 1.55 per month. I could drop down my army maintenance and increase that a little more, and then we can just raise the army maintenance back up if a war comes along. I don't think there's a whole lot else I can do at the moment. I guess I can deal with that little bit of corruption. You can see I've still got 2 non-accepted cultures, but I don't have enough development in the states that have those cultures to be able to do anything with that. All right, so we've got a presidential election on our hands. Looks like our diplomat was discovered while building the spy network. Let's see, the term is up for our existing person. We're going to go with administrative power right now, because I'm only at 79 in Republican tradition, so I don't want to keep the same ruler. At least not for now. I did have a decision that I had to make earlier that upped my inflation a little bit, so I'm going to have to deal with that. So we're going to spend 75 administrative power to reduce that inflation. All right, we'll go again here with... actually, you know what? I'm going to go here with spending the diplomatic power. Okay, we're at 2 every time out, so that's helpful. We've got to keep driving that total income up as much as I possibly can. Nobles demand privileges. Accept their rightful claims, lose prestige, gain national unrest. National unrest isn't too bad, so I think we'll just take our chances by getting a 2% boost in national unrest, because it's not really an issue for me right now. All right, it's January of 138. And in times, President used to be on the reverse side of the coins. Now, Republic rejects such personality cults. So this is the same one I had earlier. And once again, I'm going to get hit with the inflation, or I can just lose. This time, I think I'll go lose the Republican tradition. I gain 1 every year, so that'll set me back a little bit. I've stopped producing the spy network up here in Potawatomi. I'll just have to keep an eye on it at some point. While it's still above 20, I can go ahead and fabricate that claim. But I want to build up my financial situation a little bit more before I go back to war. So we're just about into the year 140. It's actually been a pretty quiet couple of years in my realm. I've built up some more points. I'm going to go ahead and spend those. And in Allegheny, it only costs 201 to spend points right now, just because I don't have... you can see I've only improved it 2 times. Every time you improve it, it drives that number up higher. So Republican tradition's down. I definitely need to choose a different candidate. Let's go diplomat this time. We're kind of rotating between the different ones, so I can kind of even these points out. And we're going to go ahead and improve with military power and also administrative power. I think we can go this route too. So we'll do one of all 3. There we go. So let's see what that does to the financial situation. Oh, that was nice. It went from 2.12 to 2.31. So those little bits will add up in the long run, especially over the period of hundreds or even thousands of years, which I have available to me in this game. So I'm going to let this tick up some higher, and then we'll think about going to war with the Potawatomi up here. I don't think there's anything else I can spend money on. Technology has not advanced to the point where I can do any buildings or anything like that right now. So one of the things about using the extended timeline mod is that you're starting so early in time that your options are really limited early in the game as far as the things you're able to do. That will obviously change as hundreds of years go by. Conflicts and protests over taxes, corporations, trade, and customs policies are becoming quite frequent. I think I'll lose the money rather than the stability. We can get money back, so. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. Foreign plots. Wild rumors are circulating about our nobility plotting with foreign powers. That's not good. Hysteria grows and the mood is fearful. The people demand that we strike at the traitors, but wiser minds say that we must let the tradition of republican justice take its course. So I can gain the money back and lose the republican tradition, or I can lose stability. So we're going to again lose republican tradition. It feels like they're kind of pushing me towards monarchy here. What is this? Zapotec has failed in their holy duties, and doomsday is now upon them. All their subject states have broken away, and their nation is greatly weakened. Well, that's all the way down in Mexico, so it's not really a big concern for me right now. We're going to look here. I've got 281 right now in my treasury. I think we might be at the place where I can probably financially support a war. But let's go ahead and spend a little bit more military power. And we'll go right here. Oh, we can actually go one in administrative power too. So we'll go there. We'll let this build up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and start. Let's see how much money I make first. So it only ticked up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and jack the army maintenance back up so we can start fully funding the army. I need to go ahead and get a general in place. Now obviously he's got an ally, so that's going to make things interesting. But let me see. I got to check and see what my land force limit is. So I'll kind of look over a few things. We'll come back and get ready for war. Alright, so my force limit is 12, which is by far the best of any of the countries I'm aware of in the Americas. I also have the highest manpower, which is good. So let's go ahead and recruit one more regiment of clubmen. It's going to take 2 months to get them in place. We're going to go ahead and... my fabricate claim is no good because my spy network has gone back down. So let's see where the spy network is. It went all the way to 0. Boy, that decayed really fast. So I've got to rebuild the spy network. Once I do that, then we can go to war. Okay, so we're in January of 143, and one more month should do this. There we go. Let's go ahead and fabricate that claim on our former allies. And now we are in a position to do the deed. So we're not going to be able to call our allies. It doesn't look like they will not be called into my war. We have no reason to attack them? What do you mean we don't have any reason to attack them? There. Now we have it. Okay. Just had to let that happen. Yeah, there's our conquest. Confirm. Looks like we may be going at this war alone. Alright, real quick while I'm thinking about this, I need to go ahead and raise war taxes. And there he goes. Of course, he's gonna. Oh, I actually caught his army in the province before they could get out. Excellent. So now he'll move, and eventually he'll try to lay siege, but I don't think that'll happen fast enough. My only problem, of course, is then I gotta go deal with his allies, who are fairly strong. Where did Otto? Oh, they went down there. Look at them with 1,000 men. Alright, so what I'm going to have to do... Oh, wow. Oh, that's 2 armies, that's why. So we're going to have to try and catch one of these armies without the other one. He's marching around taking all kinds of my territory. So this is going to be a bit of a problem trying to navigate all this without an ally. But I've got to take this territory first and then worry about getting everything back. Alright, we're going to go military candidate this time. There, we got his territory. Now we need to go and try to take out his army. Wow, he reinforced it. I'm going to lose. Yep. So he had enough time to get his allied army there. So I've got a problem because my allies have now been called into this war, which I desperately need to have happen. And I don't think there's a way to do that in the middle of the war. Is there? Let's see. Nope. They will not accept my call to arms. Well, what good is an ally if they won't accept? And my army's getting its butt kicked all over the place right now, to the point where I can't even reform them. Alright, we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way, I'm afraid. Hire mercenaries. Which, of course, is going to hurt me financially, but I really don't have a choice. And I can't do it over there. Okay. Where's military? Okay. Hopefully he doesn't hit me. Man. He's just chasing that army around, and I have no chance to get them to build things back up. Alright, what do we got here? A foreign military expert. Gain a general with 100 tradition. Okay. Nice. I desperately need to get this other force rescued. There we go. Now once... What is this? Trusted merchants. Okay, nothing I'm worried about right now. Once I can get these guys back up, we'll take our new general and we'll go start kicking some butt here. Of course, financially I'm in a rough situation because of these mercenaries. So I've got to hurry up, do what I need to do, and then lose the mercenaries. Okay, there's a win. I'm going to be in debt here, I think, I'm afraid. I got a while before that siege has any success. Alright, let's go deal with them, and then I'm going to dump the mercenaries. Because I think I've got enough men in my existing army at this point. Alright, let's dump them. Getting way too expensive. So we'll create a new unit. Where's my disband button? Oh, maybe I gotta be over here to do it. Oh. There, now I can do it. Alright. Now, financially at least, we'll be back in positive territory. Wars are such a nightmare in this game when you don't have a large army and you just have to kind of chase people around. Okay. We've got all that stuff back. Now we got to go back and deal with his army again. Looks like we're going to be dealing with both of them. Oh, and I'm going to lose again. Oh, I won. Barely. I mean, really, big time barely. Now we're going to play the chase game with him. Let's go ahead and lay siege to his capital. And of course, now he's got a 1,000 man army down there. Oh, it's a nightmare. Execute the bailiff, why not? Now, I should be able to finish this siege before he can finish that one. Lost 50 military power. So let's see if I can improve my base again and maybe allow myself a little bit more of a land force limit at this point. Nope, still at 12. Alright, we're just about to win this siege. That's good news. We'll see where that puts us percentage-wise. Be super cool if my allies would help me out. Alright, Siege of Ottawa's over. His army just got in a war with natives, so that actually bailed me out on fighting him. What's going on here? My war exhaustion's high, because this one's been going for a while. Okay, we're at 57%. Let's see if we can do this. So full annexation, we're almost there. I mean, we're literally like right there. The positive's 107, the negative's 110. So I really just need to do one more thing to push that over the edge. In this case, go take one of my territories back. Bureaucrat candidate. What's going on here? Call for peace. So full annexation looks like it would be allowed at this point. How much money can we demand? No, I want more than that. This was an expensive war for me. Can I just type it in? No, I guess not. That's as high as we can go. Alright. Yeah, let's do that. Excellent. So we've added territory. Managed to get a little bit of money out of them in the process. Where's my army? Oh, they're still in the process of heading over there. Alright, so let's go ahead and... finally, that's all over. So, 10 minutes later, let's go ahead and drop the army maintenance. We got to look at inflation, because that's obviously a concern now here, too. I'm going to have to reduce inflation. War exhaustion's high. Who am I fighting? Oh, natives. So let's see what's going on here. Now, of course, we can make these new territories cores. Let's reduce war exhaustion as much as I can with the points that I have. So it's expensive, but I added a new territory. And financial situation will kind of stabilize a little bit now. Let's get inflation reduced back down to 0. And here we go with this again. I keep losing all the prestige that I've gained. I've only got 2 prestige as it is. Jeez, I'm negative on prestige now. What a mess. Alright, let's drop out and we'll come back when something good happens. Alright, November of 149, we've got a bit of an issue I've got to deal with here. Some Powhatan separatists have actually spilled over into my territory. And so now I've got to go ahead and get my army maintenance back up so I can drive these people out. Although it looks like they may move on their own. Nope, they're going to go lay siege to my territory. So as soon as my army, there we go, we can get them moving. Oh, what's going on here? We always encourage healthy competition between our merchants, but at the same time, they always put the greater interest of the Republic first. Lose 50 diplomatic power. Oh, boy. Rebels are a nightmare because when they successfully conquer an area, they give some long-term effects that you have to deal with. We're in the process of making this a core. We hadn't done it yet. Okay, June of 153, and we have, now that we've made this area a core, we have the option to make Michigan a state. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That'll increase the income just a little bit. But every little bit helps. So we're still making a balance of over 2, and I'm keeping my army maintenance up pretty high. I don't want it to go down too low anymore because I don't want any more surprises. Alright, we got to make a core here. I thought I already did that, but maybe that got messed up. Oh, it was a core, but now that I've made it a state, I think I have to do it again. Alright, so things are pretty settled. What I'm waiting on now is I'm waiting for one of these kind of nomadic tribes to make their way into this territory here. Maybe these guys. Because that'll allow me to expand there. I don't want to expand into territories that don't border me. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't really think I want to go to war with the Iroquois just yet. The other option would be to go down here to the Susquehannock. Okay, so we're into August of 155, and it's only now a little bit 1 year ahead of time on technology, so we're at the place once again that we can invest in new technologies. We're going to go with classical cavalry at a cost of 649 military power. Now we need to go ahead and let these other 2 technologies build up, so I'm not going to be investing for a little while as we allow those things to build up as well. And with the next administrative technology, doesn't look like there's a whole lot I'll be able to do. I'll be able to build a glorious monument. All right, perfect. That's about it right now. All right, we're getting into the year 159, and I'm just about to the place where I'm going to level up my diplomatic technology to 7. You can also see financially I'm as stable as I've ever been. I'm over 500 now in financial. In gold, so that's really helpful once I have things I can actually spend the money on, which I don't yet. What's this here? The classical age is ending in 121 months. That means somebody has hit administrative technology 8 already. Wow, how's that even possible? Must be over in the east somewhere. So what that means as far as the ages go, you can see here, late classical age. I guess I don't know what it means yet. We'll see when we get there. But you can see where each age ends. When military technology gets to 15, migration age will begin. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to wrap up this episode here in just a minute, and we'll do what I did last time, which is to kind of look through the ledger and see where things stand. But let me go ahead and get these 2 technologies up to 7 first. That's going to improve trade efficiency and another reduction in corruption. I canceled my mission because that mission was just never going to happen. Now I've actually got 3 missions, so that's nice because I never had any other options before. Let's go ahead and level up administrative technology. Another boost to production efficiency. So let's see. Oh, we've got province improvements that can be built for the first time. We can build a glorious monument, which all that does is reduce local unrest. So honestly, it's not even something I think I'm worried about right now, because I don't really have anywhere that local unrest is a big problem. They're all at 0 at the moment. So, if that becomes an issue, obviously that's something new that I have available to me. But for the time being, it's not something worth spending my money on. Let's look at national decisions and missions for just a second. The rival of our rival. So we can gain prestige and diplomatic power by completing something that gets their opinion at 100. So that's pretty easy. Conquering Cuyahoga would be another option. Where are they? I believe they're over here somewhere, but maybe not. Anyway, we'll figure out where they're at. I don't think they're down there. That's the Cherokee. Cuyahoga must be up here somewhere. The Sioux, Mohican, Iroquois, Cree, Cheyenne, Ottawa. So obviously it's not telling me to conquer somebody that's close. So we'll deal with that when the time comes. Anyway, remove Miami from the map. So those are some options that I'll have to consider moving forward. Of course, classical age is ending soon. Economy-wise, we're gaining 2.35 per month right now, and I've got 554 gold. So let's go ahead and look at the ledger as we wrap up this episode. See where some things stand. We'll start at the beginning. Income right now. I have the best income by quite a bit of any of the Western, basically the North America, the nations of North America. I've actually got a decent amount of gold that puts me kind of in the top 10 as far as gold goes as well. Prestige, of course, I have none right now. In fact, I'm negative 13 at the moment. Development level, I have the most developed nation at 67. My max manpower is the highest. Technology, obviously, pretty much everybody's right there on technology just because of the penalty right now. Just kind of keeps everybody even as far as that goes. Power projection, not really anything I'm too concerned about right now. So let's look and see which provinces are really producing the most and which ones really aren't doing much for me right now. Allegheny and Delaware, of course, by far my best. That's there. And over here, Ohio's not producing much for me, and that's where my capital is. They do have a nice tax income, though. Province development. So there's just a lot that you can kind of look at and see. Armies. Looks like there's 2 nations equal here, myself and this other one. And force limit the same. Navy's not really an issue for me right now. Alright, so you can kind of see, get an overview of where things stand. We're into the year 159, a long way to go. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up right here. As always, I welcome your comments, your input, your questions, your criticisms, any and all those things. I'm already learning a great deal from you guys, so thank you for that. And we'll come back in another couple of days with the next episode. Thanks for watching.